everybody. Welcome back to Cast 11 and Power of the Mind, brought to you by Granite Mountain Behavioral Healthcare. Madi, how's it going?
It's going good. It's good to be back.
Awesome. We're looking at a new year. And one thing we were talking about and kind of sparked the discussion today was New Year's resolutions. Like everybody does them, especially when you're younger. That's the thing, right? I remember when the kids were growing up, we'd sit around and be like, okay, what are things you want to accomplish? And we even have a bell on the Christmas tree where we write down the things that we want to accomplish throughout the years. And we haven't done that in a long time, but I keep the ones in there from when the kids were small and we read them and they're so cute and funny. But, it's things don't change because a lot of when my kids were little, I want to win a nationals jacket. And that's still my goal every year. Like I want to win a nationals jacket. That's like our goal. So it's funny how you continue those traditions through the year. But first of all, why do we do New Year's resolutions? Do you have an idea like how the human mind works with that and why we do it?
I think it's also like this social norm because everybody else is setting these resolutions and it's almost like expected to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like new year, new groove, new me, right? And I think that it's the social norm to set a New Year's resolution. Everybody does it. Think about the gym. Think about the beginning of the year, how many people are going.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of dwindles down, right? Throughout the months.
Yeah, because you think going into January, people are like, oh, we'll wait till after the holidays. Nobody wants to start a diet December 15th. There's too much yummy stuff. Nobody wants to quit smoking in the middle of the holidays. It's too stressful, and what you see too is alcohol and, people struggling with drug abuse and maybe self-harm. We can't do that during the holidays. We're going to start January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you see people that are being successful and then people who aren't being successful? What are some things we can do to kind of maybe not guarantee success, but maybe help?
I think strategizing and creating short, attainable goals, breaking down those big goals into smaller goals. Like you want to go to school. Okay. What do you have to do that? What are the 1, 2, 3 to lead up to it? You got to fill out your FAFSA. You got to fill out your application for the school, right? It's breaking down those bigger tasks, those bigger goals into smaller ones so you're able to achieve it more likely.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't say like, okay, I smoke a carton of cigarettes a day. January 1st, though, I'm stopping. That's it. So maybe go, well, right now I smoke a carton of cigarettes. Maybe January I'm going to get some of the Nicorette gum and try to only smoke half a carton of cigarettes a day. And it's, I'm going to lose 100 pounds in January.
Absolutely.
It's like, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds by springtime.
I think it's about measuring the progress too, right? Like progress, not perfection. And knowing and keeping that in mind of like any step closer is a step closer. Mm-hmm. And keeping that positive mindset of remembering why you wanted the goal in the first place. So the motivation's got to be there first and foremost. If you don't want it, nobody's going to want it for you. So it's making that commitment to yourself. And like, how do you make a commitment, right? It's something that you're committed to do, even though you might not want to at times. It's making that decision over and over to try again, knowing, hey, I messed up. I smoked that cigarette. Damn it, I thought I was going to quit. Well, guess what? You smoked 7 cigarettes less this week than last week. That's progress, not perfection,
right?
And it's measuring on what can I do to make these goals come true? How can I really create a roadmap where I'm going to be successful?
So when you fail, and most of us are going to fail on those things, focus on the positive. What have you changed? What baby step have you made? Now, what are your thoughts about including others in the goal? So is it better to go, hey, everybody, this is what I'm doing?
Yeah, absolutely. When we're held accountable too, we're more likely to do it. When we know that somebody's watching, we're going to put on our best facade, right?
Yeah.
Whereas when we're alone, it's like the integrity thing, you know? But when we're alone, we're more likely to do it because we just have our voices in our head. If we can reach out for support, tell others what we're aiming for and ask for that.
Because if you've shared with somebody, maybe it's just one person, and then when you are by yourself and you find yourself slipping, that would be the person that you could call and say, "Hey, remember I told you I was gonna stop cooking meth in the kitchen, and it's 10 in the morning, and I've got that urge to." But it could be anything, something as simple as I'm reaching for a candy bar instead of the oatmeal that I promised I was going to eat. I'm getting ready to fire up whatever. Get that support system. Get somebody you can talk to.
Accountability buddy, somebody that you can go to know that they're going to remind you of what your goal is when you forget it, because you're going to forget it.
Right.
If you don't remember the purpose, what's going to be the point?
Well, and I would think too, there's always the top, 5. I'm going to the gym. I'm stopped smoking or vaping. I'm going to lose, 50 pounds. I'm going to, read a book every day, whatever. But if it's just words on a paper, if you don't want to change, you're not going to change. So it's that person who maybe the alcoholic or if you don't want to change, or something as simple as not grabbing that Snickers bar in the morning to, the big things.
One of my favorite quotes, and I think I've said this before, is when the pain of the problem becomes worse than the pain of the solution, you will change.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at it and you're deciding, hey, guess what? I'm having more consequences by doing this, and being honest to yourself and to thine own self be true, and really taking a internal inventory of yourself and asking yourself, all right, what is the need for change? What's behind the need?
Right.
Because you have to define that. You have to define what's my why. Because if you can't, what is your why?
Right. Right. I think those are great things. So if you're fallen into the norm, the social norm of setting those resolutions, and they're really ones that, really could make a positive impact on your life, get a support group, be true to yourself, baby steps. And when you fail, not if you fail, when you fail, because most of us do, don't be so hard on yourself.
Absolutely. Think about the light bulb. What was it, the 101th try that the light bulb actually started working?
Yeah, could you imagine after 47? We're done.
Yeah.
After 3.
Think where we would be today
Still
without
sitting
that.
in the dark.
Still sitting in the dark. But he chose to keep trying, keep pushing himself, and he knew his why. He knew he had a purpose and a reason, and he wasn't willing to give up. Half the fight is the mental capacity to create this space where you can achieve these goals, right? It's creating that positive mindset of I can, from those thoughts of I can't. Because those voices in your head are going to come, especially when you felt like you said. It's about challenging those, though. Challenging them and knowing, all right, so I messed up. Today's a new day. It's like today I'm trying, and that's enough. And give yourself credit where credit's due.
Yeah. We went 4 seasons without winning nationals. And it was just, we kept trying and we kept trying and we kept like, what are we doing wrong? There's something we're missing. And the year we won was the year I'm like, I have the secret sauce. I know what we need to do. I figured it out. It was so many of the pieces of I just was focused on one thing. Our stunts need to be better than everybody's. That is a fraction of your scorecard. There's so much that would go into winning nationals. And we figured, it was like, this is the year. And we did. And that first achievement, that first time you hit that, I mean, we've won again since, and there's nothing like the first time when you won. And so those, and that to me is that endorphin push. It's like you've succeeded. It's just like jumping on the scale and it's 2 pounds down, or it's 3 ounces down. It's moving in the right direction. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But now that we're on that track, it's the norm, and there is no self-doubt or negative talk. It just was a mindset. We are going to go win nationals, and talking to ourselves that way, and so when we do something in the gym that isn't towards that, we're going to go win nationals. Everybody's like, well, what kind of talk is that? That's not going to get us to nationals. And so it was like, oh yeah, we got this.
Mhm.
So, and there's still, self-doubt creeps in, or, you may not, you jump on the scale and it's up 2 ounces or up a pound. It's like, okay, but that's okay. Because that negative talk of, you're not good enough. I mean, we knew you were going to fail. It's not going to take you anywhere.
Yeah, you can't create a room for you to fill.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be creating that space for you where you're going to succeed, setting yourself up for success, writing those goals down and saying, all right, here's my 1 month goal. In 1 month, I want to lose 3 pounds. All right, well, what's your 2 month goal? Well, I want to lose 10 pounds.
Yeah.
All right. You have to go little by little by little.
And surround yourself with people. Like if you're trying to lose weight, you do not surround yourself with people who, I know people that are 100 pounds and they eat like giant truck drivers. It's like, how? I'm sure they're fun to hang out with, but get them away from me for a minute, because you can't be around those people that, or, we don't care about, I'm not on a healthy journey. Let's go to the buffet and load up. It's like, maybe for a while we need to take a step back from that environment. Or if you're trying to stop drinking, don't hang out with those people right now, and you can still be their friends. But if that trigger for you is going out Friday night with your friends, and don't put yourself in the middle of that temptation, right?
Yeah, you've got to set yourself up for success and know that it's going to take making those decisions, hanging around those people that are like-minded people, people who are going to uplift you and not bring you down, right? It's like you hang around the barbershop long enough, you're going to get your hair cut.
It's a good phrase. I always tell my kids, it's easier for people to bring you down than for you to pull them up. Absolutely. And so if you're struggling to pull people up, it's time to find new people to hang out with, because the people that are beneath you are trying to pull you down to their level.
Absolutely. Think about it. Like I hung out from a CEO of a company not that long ago, and he's very successful. And what we talked about how his kids are doing. We talked about how work is going. We talked about books he's reading. We talked about his plan and his goals for the future. And you hang out with someone who's, let's say, not striving for goals, not striving to be better, a Debbie Downer.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to make a goal exist when you're in the dumps in your head.
Yeah. I hate my boss. Everything sucks. People are terrible. And it's like, oh, you're right. Mm-hmm. People are terrible. The brain is very lazy. It will believe what you tell it.
And what's convenient,
mm-hmm.
And setting that goal, it's not about convenience. It's about challenging, right?
Yeah.
Creating a challenge that you can achieve, right? So you're not going to say, all right, I want to lose 100 pounds this month.
Good luck.
Good luck with that. It's going back to, all right, creating those small, attainable goals so you're likely to achieve them.
That kind of ties in too with, we were talking about incentivizing the staff. So by setting goals that are attainable, you're going to have to push, but you can get this month. That pushes people to do it. Now, if you set, hey, I know that you did A, B, and C last month, but this month I need you to do X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. It's like, there's no way they can get to X, Y, and Z this month. So it's, okay, not going to do it. Thanks for throwing out something and now you're mad.
Yeah.
And now it's like, forget it. So think about that with your kids, your spouse, your, people in your life. If you're, trying to get the kids to go from doing no chores to painting the house, good luck. Mm-hmm. But little baby steps.
It's got to be like creating that chore chart for those kids, right? And saying, all right, on Monday, here's your one goal. On Tuesday, here's your next. And then you look at Wednesday and you see that Monday and Tuesday were done because you made them achievable. Mm-hmm. It's being realistic with your goals too, and making sure that they're realistic for you, and making sure that you're able and at a place mentally where you're not going to sell yourself short. It's making sure the timing is right. And that timing doesn't just have to be New Year's. It can be July.
Yeah.
At least you're doing it in July. That's great.
That's great.
It's progress, not perfection. Starting small, aiming big.
Yep. New year, new you, but the year is going to be the same if you don't make some changes within yourself.
Absolutely. And you got to ask yourself, what's my why?
That's my why.
And keep checking in with yourself and having people that are going to hold you accountable.
Love it. Well, if you're on the New Year's resolution train, keep chugging, get your buddy, make sure you've got somebody that's helping you get through those goals, and be kind to yourself.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Madi. This was another great episode of Power of the Mind brought to you by Granite Mountain Behavioral Healthcare.
Thank you.